Did you see it? Did you watch any of the Durham report today? Did you want to see put a face with the person? Did you want to see this? Isn't it funny how when you want to see what do they look like? What do they sound like? You always have this imagination of what people look like, you know. You know, what do they look like? What does he sound like? And I've got to tell you something. I know you probably watched it, and I'm listening to a lot of folks speak, and I'm wondering if they watched any of the actual case itself. But we're going to go through this and see if I can explain this in my own inimitable way to you, because you're good folks and you deserve the best. You do. You deserve the truth. Liz, I don't want to talk about that sub. I don't know why that sub bothers me. I'm sure it's an important story, but there's something about it. It's like, I don't understand why it bothers me so. It's important, yes, but the world is cratering. And I don't think it's in any way a problem, but these are people who are themselves, who fancy, very, very rich people, so we're going to do this. It's like there's a very serious civil litigation case, but there's something about this and like mountain climbers and people who do stuff. Do you find this? Do you understand this? Do you understand? Am I the only one here? Do you find yourself like me thinking, wait a minute, this is a very odd thing. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a moment. Please like this video. Please make sure you subscribe. And by the way, we haven't told you about this in a while, but I want you to do me a favor. You know, one of our great sponsors has always been, God bless him, My Pillow. And I love that guy. I love that guy, Mike Lindell, how he just made his company, built it up, people loved it. My favorite My Pillow thing, you're gonna go crazy if I tell you this, is a little, not a bolster, but a little tiny pillow that is the best for that fine tuning. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Do me a favor. Please go and buy every single product they have and use promo code Lionel. I know, that's a lot of money, but it's worth it. It helps them and it helps me. Because if you want to see more of me, you want to support the cause. I would love one day to have people who are part of this giant Lionel Media cavalcade. I would have the most interesting people. All they'd have to do is be interesting. That's all. Don't really care about the left or the right, as long as you're interesting. Don't bore me. But until then, MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Help us out. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Okay, let's talk Durham. Who saw Durham today? Anybody? 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 Anybody saw the Durham thing? Well, let me tell you. Mary Fernandez says something which is very good. Mary says, I thought Gates got to the heart of our frustration. You know what, Mary? And as much as I don't trust that guy, and as much as I think he creeps me out, I think, you know what? He spoke some truth. You know that? He spoke some truth. And I think he did get to a lot of the core of our frustration. I think you're absolutely correct with that. And I think he, interestingly enough, showed a frustration with everything. He has his moments. But I'm telling you, there's something about this guy. But he was spot on. But John Durham was not there to do all of that John Durham was not there to do all of that. John Durham was there to answer the questions. He was tasked with a very simple question. Did the FBI have enough, based upon the information that was provided, to initiate an investigation? Yes or no? That's it. Did they have enough? Yes or no? That's it. Yes or no? Gene Reed says, where's AOC been? You're right about that. Where's she been? Where's Marjorie Taylor Greene been? Where are these people? We see them one time. We see them like every single day. I thought Jim Jordan did a good job. You will not see Mr. Durham anymore. Nothing will come of this. Nothing will happen. No heads will roll. None of that stuff. It's time for them to move on. But it was a very interesting case. But here is the story. That people, let me see if I can explain this to you. A bunch of folks got the FBI and said, would you investigate Trump? No, we need something. Well, what do you need? Well, we need some basis for it. Can we give you a pretend story? Can we give you a make-believe story? Yeah. I'm going to hire a writer, this guy Christopher Steele. He'll write something out, and we'll get it to him through Fusion GPS, Perkins GUI. These are all, this is like the Biden family with the LLCs. You give it to this, and Jerry Biden gets this, and Billy Biden gets this, everybody gets this. Okay, what do you want to do? Here's our story. What is it? Well, we're going to have this crazy story about whatever it is. Okay, good. We're going to throw in a couple of Russian hookers. Russian hookers? Yeah, they're going to pee on a bed. Why? I don't know. Kind of makes it interesting. Really? Is that necessary? Yeah, we're going to throw it in there. Okay. So who's coming up with this? Christopher Steele. He just made it up. He made it up. Yeah, made it up. How much did he get? $1 million? I don't know how much he got. He just made it up. Well, I can write. I'll do it for half that. I'll write you a story. No. We gotta have a document. We're gonna call it a dossier. Read through this. Okay, that's good. Former intel, good. Good. Pass it on. Here you go. Here's the document. And that's it. And that's it. And what's interesting about it, you said, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's assume you're in the business, you're running for office. And I say to you, listen, I got some dirt on your opponent. First question, what do? Do you take it? Is there anything wrong with you? If I said to you, I've got dirt on your opponent. Did you know that? I've got dirt. I can tell you some stuff about your opponent. You want to know anything about it? Okay. Sure. What does that dirt mean? She voted this way, she voted that way, having an affair? I don't know. Do you think it makes any sense for me to want to find this out? And the answer is yes. Of course it does. Of course it does. All right. What happens if the person that's going to you is a foreign national? Does that make a difference? Makes a difference. Maybe it makes a difference. I don't know. That's a different story. That makes a different story. What if they're Russian? Remember this one woman who supposedly came? It just fell through. The whole thing was a joke, but they went to talk to, I think it was Manafort and Don Jr. and maybe what's his name? I think she was interested in the adoption. Anyway, nothing came of it. Nothing came of it. Nothing. But if she's a foreign national, they can't give anything of value. Does it matter? Does it matter if the thing of value happens to be happens to be information? Is that of value? Well, maybe. I mean, it's really stretching this. I mean, it's so. Now understand this. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, his brother, his son, are actively engaged in every kind of conceivable fraud you can imagine. Through Bobulinski, through name it. Name it. They have been involved in fraud from the get-go. Do you understand this? Yes, you do. Do you get this? Yes. Now, this is important to note. What happens exactly? What do you mean? Well, what I mean is, what happens next? What happens next? Yeah, what happens next? Where do we go next with this thing? Well, what do you mean? Well, tell me. Where does it go? Hunter goes away. The Durham thing is over. Thank you very much for his boy. They tore him a new one a couple of times for reasons I don't understand. His role was kind of limited. He did everything he had to do. Well, what do you want? That's going to be the end of it. That's the end of it. Jerry Nadler was reading a statement. I don't even know what the hell he was reading. I don't even know what the hell he was reading. I don't know what he was talking about. I really don't know what he... I mean, they talk about other things. They say, well, how many prosecutions did you do? 2? How many were they successful? No. Okay. What about the other ones? What about General Flynn? What about Papadopoulos? What about Roger Stone? They had nothing to do with any of this stuff. Roger Stone was convicted of, quote, lying to Congress. General Flynn, remember what they did to him? Basically threatening him or his son or something. What is it? That's another deal. That's another issue. But they're trying to say, well, because the Mueller investigation, Mueller and Comey got these people and they pled guilty, there was something to that. Really? So what are you saying? What are you saying? That Trump was involved in Russian collusion? Can any of you say anything? Can any of you say anything about, and this is important, can anybody say anything about what is happening regarding well, I mean, right now, Bobby Kennedy Jr. is here. It's kind of like stuck. Where's DeSantis? What is happening with this stuff? I don't know. We're talking more about that damn sub than anything else. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could. I don't mean to sound cruel. I want these people to be rescued, but I don't know what to say about the sub. What am I supposed to say about the sub? What? What is going on? It's like today there was like a standstill. It's like, what am I watching? This is like nothing. What is this happening? What does this mean? I don't understand it. It's the strangest thing ever. Now, I hate to keep saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it. That's it. The level of fraud leveled against this president, the leveled, is beyond anything anybody could ever even imagine. You do know he can't get anywhere near. Is there anybody listening right now? Seriously, I know you love him, and I know he's a good guy. I really, really do. I think that you don't have to. I don't think I have to explain to you how I think he did some wonderful things. But is there anyone? I'm just curious. Please tell me why you think he's in it. He's going to win this. He's going to win. He's going to beat the Democrats. They're going to let him win. And that he actually can accomplish something for this country. Please tell me. Please tell me. Is there anybody who really thinks, oh, I think he'd be great. He goes into office and everything's terrific and he gets legislation and he has Congress works with him. He has a great staff, great chief of staff. He'll pick the attorney general. He'll have his own defense department, and none of them will double cross him. Serious? Do you really think that? This is the part I don't understand. Do you really think? Because right now, they keep saying, well, his points are going up, his popularity. That may be, but you've got to be out of your mind to think that this man, and this hurts me to say this, but you've got to answer this question. What is best for our country? Ran into a friend of mine last night. I think I told you this. And he is one of these prototypical conservatives. The one says, I wouldn't vote for a Democrat, that kind of stuff. And he said he agrees with me. Bobby Kennedy still could shake things up the most. Bobby Kennedy could permanently destroy the Democratic Party by making them wonder, well, what exactly are we? Are we Democrats, or what are we doing? I would love to go on the campaign trail with somebody and be at a place, like, Trump used to go on a stage. And I would love to have a picture of like Kensington, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia, or whatever it is. And I would love to have these pictures. One guy defecating and one person's passed out. And the tents and the demented people and the crime. And just say, what's wrong with this? Tell me what's wrong with this. Do you like this? Do you like this Democratic? Because if you do, I understand it. Just start off with a very simple thing. Just show picture after picture after picture over and over. Do you like this? Because this I could do something with. I can't help you with trans and all this stuff. Not really sure about that. I don't know if I even want to do anything. I can't do anything. If people want to celebrate trans or whatever, that's the way it is. But do you like this? Because they're not even started. Let me ask you one thing. You're my audience. What's going to get better? Name one thing that's going to get better under this administration. Tell me one thing they're going to do. You say, you know what? That was pretty good what they did. Name one thing they're doing. They, the Democrats, the wokies, whoever you want to call them. Name one thing. What are they doing that you like? What are they doing? When Tony Blinken talks to Xi Jinping, what do you think he's thinking? Tell me one thing. Please, what do you think? Now, Frank says, we really need a strong third party. Frank, you got to clarify that. Any third party? No. You want a third party that's going to draw from the Democrats. Don't say you want a third party. They'll give you one. Okay? What if there's not a Mike Pence, but if there was somebody who was a substantial Republican, you don't want any Republican. You want a Democratic third party. Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy would draw from the Democrats. I would take any single Republican there is. Let me say this again. Let me be very clear about this. I will take any, I don't care who it is, Republican. I can work with that. The only Democrat, Bobby Kennedy. Period. Now you got to ask yourself a question. Dick Bork writes, they have no brain. Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that. I told you before about getting to know. Tell me what a Democrat thinks. Tell me what a Democrat thinks. You know what a Democrat is? You know who the Democrats are? I'll tell you what. Somebody who's always been one. Somebody who's always been one because of the part of the country he's from. Maybe his daddy was a Democrat. Maybe his whatever. Maybe there was some kind of, I don't know what the story is, but that's sort of what's happening. They're a part of I don't know. They just always have been. They don't like Trump. They loathe Trump. They loathe Trump. You understand that? I mean, they really, really, really hate him. And you've got to understand this. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Recognize it. They despise Trump. Do you understand that? They despise him. And as long as you understand this, as long as you recognize this, as long as you're aware of this, as long as you're able to come to grips with this fact, don't question it, but as long as you can understand it, they despise Trump. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does this make sense to you? Tell me it does, because it's true. They despise him in ways you can't imagine. In ways you cannot imagine. Let me just make sure you understand, make sure you grasp this. And if you tell him there is no Trump, he's not going to be here anymore. Are you sure? I promise you, he's not going to be here anymore. You sure? I'm positive. Okay, maybe I'll listen. I don't know. I'm not sure. Notice how DeSantis has pretty much gone, where's he been? Don't know anything about him. What has he done? Where is the oomph? What is he going to do? Where is DeSantis? What does he need to do? How does he convey? How does he convey the message? How does he do this? I've told you this. 3 issues over and over and over again. He keeps repeating them over and over and over. And because it takes a long time for it to sink in. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. It works in his delivery. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't tell me about the way he talks. Don't worry. Bobby Kennedy has spasmodic dysphonia. He sounds like, Katharine Hepburn. Not Susan Collins, but there's that kind of a what doesn't bother anybody. Does Bobby Kennedy have is he magnificent, or not magnanimous? Is he and not magniloquent, but is he, what? Well, I don't know, but is he this great? Well, sort of, maybe, I guess, sort of, maybe. How does this thing work? What is it? What is this thing that he has? What is it? It's not his name. Nobody even cares about this. It's not his name. Nobody cares about the Kennedy name anymore. It's over with. The last one was Ted Kennedy. Or maybe it was Patrick Kennedy. Or maybe Joe Kennedy. There's no more, they're not, I don't think anybody cares about that anymore. I don't think it's about Kennedy. So what is it? What does he have? You got to ask yourself this question. I want you to think about this. What does he do? What is the thing that he's doing which is so smart? He's going on every show and he's telling the world, I'm cool. I'm cool. You can talk to me. Do you understand? I'm cool. I'm on this show. I'm on that show. They like me. They think I'm smart. They think I'm whatever it is. I talk their language. And for some reason, sometimes he just carries it. I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, believe it or not, you can give a word like Stephen says, honesty, principle, whatever. I don't know. He has this thing where you look at him and you say, fearless. I know he's always been, he won my heart about Fauci, because Fauci is just a criminal. This is just an absolute, what this guy did. I just, he would say anything you wanted. He was the hitman. Okay, fine. Bobby has to be very, very clear. Very, very clear. When he speaks to people, he's got to say something. He's got to say, I'm going to tell you something right now. I am not against vaccines. Let me make this very clear. That's like saying I'm against surgery. I'm against antibiotics. Nobody is against vaccines, immunology, immunization. Nobody. He gives a wonderful lecture on how polio was eradicated. Believe it or not, it may have had a lot more to do with sanitary conditions than anything else. But, beside the point. He's got to immediately diffuse their thing. Because when you say anti-vaxxer today, just like when you say conspiracy theorist, something happens. Russian, People just react to it. He's got to say that. He's got to say that. He's got to be able to sit there and say, nobody's against that. Nobody. Not every vaccine that's ever been devised has hurt people or is made merely from... Yeah, people made money on it. Yes. I'm no expert, but I would venture to say that smallpox is probably not here because of the vaccine. Maybe I'm wrong. Polio? That's pretty good. Polio absolutely scared people beyond anything. You talk about scared. My God. Polio? Dear. Oh my. I heard stories about that. That was before my time. I mean, it was some. So forget masks and all that. That did a trick. Nobody's against anything. Nobody's against, this Ozempic, this stuff. People are going to get really sick from that. This is a medication that's used for diabetics. It's also weight loss. People are going to get hurt by it. They're already saying it. Not because it's bad per se, but the way it's being used, contraindications. So you've got to make sure you diffuse the thing that you're saying. Nobody in their right mind is against any of this stuff. Nobody. I wish somebody would answer the question, has there ever been any successful, any real good gender surgery, gender reassignment? Has Chaz Bono, remember Chaz Bono? Where is she? Or he? Where is he? Has he talked about this? I wish somebody would say, there's a lot of people out there. Thank God for those puberty blockers. Thank God for those. This is all about PR. So we will see what happens. My friends, we will see what happens. But I don't want you to lose sight of what's happening. It's too early to see what's going on. Don't get upset because this one, the Durham thing wasn't whatever it was. It doesn't matter. We got other things to watch and other things to pay attention to. Today was kind of slow in a very strange way. I don't see anything really there that's grabbing my attention. In the meantime, I made notes of this. I think I told you this. If you can see this movie, Gene is Awful, I don't want to tell you to get Netflix, but it's very. I did a video, I know, on AI versus AGI, and I don't think anybody, frankly, is interested in the least. But that is the story. That is the issue that should scare the hell out of you. Not AI, AGI. AGI. Listen to what I'm saying. I think it's beyond most people's imagination. Beyond their ken. Beyond their thinking. I really do. I really, really do. That's what I think. In any event, I should say, I thank you. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Same bad time, same bad channel at 8 a.m. You have a great and a glorious night. Don't forget, do me a favor. Help our friend Mr. Lindell out. He's a good man. Remember when they bounced him out of Bed Bath & Beyond? He's still standing. They're closed. There's something about somebody that speaks their mind that I so respect. Plus, he's got a great product. And you go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. All right, folks. See you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.